disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, came Jesus and stood in the midst, said unto them, Peace be unto you. And when he had so said, he shewed unto them his hand and his side. Then were the disciples glad when they saw the Lord. Then said Jesus to them again, Peace be unto you. As my Father has sent me, even so send I you. And when he had said this, he breathed on them and said unto them, Receive ye the Holy Ghost. Whosoever sin he remit, they are remitted unto them. And whosoever sin he retain, they are retained. Wow, that's powerful. Powerful in church. Have the power to drive away sin and to let you know to stay in your sin. But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not there when Jesus came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, We have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, Except I shall see in his hand the print of the nail, and put my finger into into his hand, into his side, I will not believe. After that 8 days again, the disciples were with him. The disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Jesus, the door being shut, and stood in the midst and said, Peace be unto you. Then said he to Thomas, Reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and trust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord and my God. Jesus said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen, and yet have believed. And many other signs truly did Jesus in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written that ye might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing ye might have life through his name. It was a bad weekend for the Jesus disciples and all his friends. Their esteemed leader, his imminent, was slaughtered, was slain, was crucified on a cross. He was taken into custody on Thursday night, spent the night up and down from jailhouse to jailhouse. Friday morning he was taken and received the most cruel death known to man. Crucifixion was instituted by the Canaanite, but made perfect by the Romans. It was an awful way to die. It was not a simple death. I was sharing some time ago in a function, I said, Jesus died from drowning. Everybody said, huh? And a bishop gave me a look Oh dear, is that the brother Ben I knew? Is he confused now or something? I said, don't chase me yet. Hear me out. He drowned in his own saliva. He was hanging on that cross and he pumped in order to breathe. He pumped in order to breathe until he could pump no more. He had no strength to pump. So his lungs got filled with his saliva. All the fluid started going to his lungs. So he drowned there right on that cross in pain. So this that you call that suffering. So when they came to him, they said, you cannot leave them on the cross for the Sabbath to catch us. It's getting close to the Sabbath. So let us break their legs now and finish them up. When they came to Jesus, he was already dead. So that it might be fulfilled, not a bone shall be broken. So they broke the other two criminals' legs, and they all were taken down before the Sabbath. But the bishop's wife was a nurse practitioner. The bishop's wife said, it is true. He is a saliva. He could pump no more to breathe. You know, he could pump no more to breathe. The whipping he got and the amount of blood loss. He had no strength left to pump on the cross. So his lungs got filled with his saliva and he died. He bowed his head and died. And you know who he was looking at when he was going down on Hollywood then? He did that for me. How about you? He suffered an awful death. But they thought it was over. But the word said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw all men. They made one mistake. They lifted him up, forgetting what the word said. If I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. So while he was lifted up, he was drawing you, drawing me, drawing from all over the world, drawing your grandma, your grandpa, and the children to come. He was drawing while he was hanging on that cross. The time came when so much sin was acted upon him that God, the Father, could not look at him anymore. Because God cannot look at sin. So God turned his back and left him in darkness. The sun stopped shining. But that's the time he was shining. While the S-U-N stopped shining, the S-O-N was shining. Two suns cannot shine at the same time. And the Lord turned that. Then he called out at one time, my God, why have you forsaken me? Then he spoke, into thy hand I commit my spirit. And he died. But it didn't stop there. It was hurtful to the disciples. They became confused. What do we do now? Our leader is gone. He said he was going. But we did not expect it to happen this way. Have you ever had death in your family? Grandmother had been sick for a long time. And grandma died. It hurt. You rather see grandma suffering than die. That's selfish, isn't it? No, but that's human. I'd rather see you bad around me, making trouble, than die sad. So well done. Give the trouble, I deal with it, but don't die. I hate them. Don't you? The last enemy of man. But Christian mocked them. Hey! We're just thinking, hey! Great, great victory. The time came when they put him in the grave. But he did not stay there. No grave could be strong enough to hold his body down. Amen. triumphantly. He rose with power. I heard our teacher telling us this morning, the angel didn't come down and roll the stone away to let him out. No. He did not need an open door anymore to get out. They couldn't lock him down anymore. The stone were rolled away so that the Marys could look in to see the empty tomb, and that Peter could walk in to examine it for himself and examine the grave clothes. And Jesus was so decent and nice. He folded them up nicely. Sometimes folks come to your house and when they leave you beg God, no make them come back, don't they? They trash your place. Have you ever, even preachers do that, you know? Come in your area and you accommodate them. When they leave, say, God, it's a preacher, oh man. You have to hire someone to clean up your gown. But Jesus didn't do that. The napkin was folded nicely and placed there because it did not belong to him. They put it on him, used it to rob him. He didn't want it. They took nothing from them. If the grave was borrowed, everything was borrowed, and Jesus rose triumphantly. But the women were there to see. Early in the morning, they went not to see the risen Lord. Honestly, they didn't go to see the risen Lord. They went to get the body, to figure out a way how to get the body, to spice it up and bury it their way. Don't joke with women. They didn't think of women on the road in the early morning. They didn't think of being robbed, somebody will take your cell phone. They didn't think of the old rapists on the road. They thought of their master. Their focus was Jesus. When your focus is Jesus, you can get a lot done. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. I will protect you if you are not fearful. So the women went to the grave. When they got there, the stone was not there. It was a humongous, an enormous stone. Who could have moved that? It took many men to put it there. How could it be removed?